are
12.
back, and I am so excited to have you guys in here because I watch the television shows. I'm addicted to them. It's my guilty pleasure. And, you know, I've been into your store here in town, and it's just kind of exciting. So I want to dive into it. First and foremost, how many locations do you guys have?
12.
12 locations. And it's filled with all kinds of merchandise that people just don't expect or do expect. So
Both. We do get unusual items.
Sure.
But mostly it's everyday usable items that we take. That way it's easier to move, and you don't have to sit on it because you need to move your money quickly.
Sure. And that's TVs, video game systems,
Jewelry.
things like that. What has been your most crazy item that you've seen walk through the door?
I've had people bring me burial plots.
Really?
They've brought the deeds in, the paperwork for it. If they'd have been in Howard County, I probably would have loaned on it.
Really?
But we do have to keep the merchandise in our store. Yeah, I had a pendant that someone had loaned to us, and it had her father's ashes inside the cross.
You are kidding. Now, was that a pawn or was that a...
It was a pawn.
Wow.
Yep, it was a loan. And that's another misconstrued. I mean, people hear the word hawk, pawn, and a lot of them still think that means the word sell.
Okay.
And so, we got to make sure we educate them that any of those words mean just loan.
Okay.
Just borrow.
Yeah, let's dive into that. What is the difference between selling your item and pawning your item? What is the actual difference between
Pawning your item is, you get it back.
Okay.
You pay your interest. It accrues every 30 days. It is a 90-day note. If we don't have any money on it in the 90 days, then, by law, that 91st day it's ours.
Okay.
But our company believes in helping your customer remember, so we send letters, we make phone calls. We don't hound them, but we do.
Kind of warn them that, hey, that deadline is looming.
Yeah.
Now, is the 90 days, is that pretty common? Are there longer loans, or can you extend that
Oh, you
loan?
can extend it. If you just come in and you pay interest, it gives you another 30 days from the date that it was due.
Okay.
So that way it gives them a chance. They can pay, and it is 23% interest. That is, the state mandates our interest charge. They can pay on it. They can have multiple loans.
Oh, wow.
You don't have to have just one. I mean, you can have, but we do watch how many people have.
So that they
don't let it get out of
kind
hand.
carried away.
Because it can very quickly.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Now,
But
you're talking about that many items. Can they have up to 5, up to 10, or you just kind of watch what
we
they're doing?
watch. We see what kind of activity they have on them. We see how close they are together. Generally, it's like never above 10, just because that's quite a bit. But like I said, we just watch. We watch and see what the items are, how close, dollar amount, what's going on in their life. Because you get to know your customers. You get to know, whether they've had deaths or they've had just a really bad luck, job change, they've just moved, or you keep an eye on all that. With unemployment, we watch. We watch and we hear from people talking when companies are going to close down, or if the company's struggling. We watch for layoffs. I'm pretty good about watching also I go on the unemployment websites. I keep up with those numbers and things like that. So we know.
You kind of have the background so that you kind of aren't just out shooting in the dark or anything like that.
Yep. So we do. We keep an eye on that so we make sure that we watch out for our customers, because we know when you're in a crisis, they're going to make decisions quickly.
Right.
We don't want them to sell their item to us if we really think in the future they're going to have a chance to get it back.
Sure.
So we make sure that they're educated on which direction that it might be best for them to go.
Now, between pawning and loaning, is there a big difference in the money that they would get for that item? Let's say...
Well, the pawning and loaning is the same.
I'm pawning and selling.
That's okay. Actually, no. We try and keep it right about the same, so that way they do not have to make that decision quickly.
Sure.
Because they're already having to make the decision to be there. You don't want to say, well, we'll give you $10 more if you sell it to us, if you think they're going to get it back.
And that goes back to...
But you have to get a feel for your customer. That's why we always ask them, how much are you trying to get? How much do you need to come up with? You kind of talk to them. You kind of see what's going on with them. And if you really get the feel that they're going to want to come back for it or remotely think about it, then we do try and talk them into getting a loan on it. Or if you see in their mind they don't want that thing, they're done with it.
Sure.
They really know that they're not going to be able to come back for it because of job or money situations. Then, sometimes we might give just a little more, but we don't set out to do that. We try and keep it around the same.
And let's dive into also the television programs, because honestly, I was geared up for, Worldwide Jewelry and Pawn was on last night as well, the season premiere. How much of that on television is actually true for real life?
Depends on what show it is. Like, hardcore up in Detroit, they're more about the drama. Some of the things I do believe are staged. Granted, they do 1,000 loans a day. We do what, 80 to 100 transactions in our stores just here in Kokomo. That's both of our stores is about average for that. Our one store in South Bend does 300-400 on an average. But you do have people that get upset, but that's our job to make sure that we keep them calm. If they're getting out of hand with one person, one of us step in, we basically have to act like Patrick Swayze and be a cooler.
Sure.
You have to try and keep the situations cool because everybody's going to get upset quickly.
Especially I think when it comes to money in your
items, because everybody thinks you paid $100 for it, it's worth $250.
Sure.
So.
And that's not the case.
Yeah, and like I said, everything has a value. And you have to know. The internet's a really good source for us to find out because we can't know everything.
Sure. Especially when somebody brings in something historical or something along that lines. How are you really going to know the value or the age?
Yeah, and that's the thing with the Gold and Silver Pawn, which is, the ones in Vegas with Rick and all them. They are more antique, more educational, more, which we do see some of those type of things come into, and we have to also look into it and call around, look on the internet.
Sure.
Just like they do with their resources. We don't really have very many people come in and look at the items for us. We do everything we can within house, or we call one of our other stores or each other. Our stores are real good about, bouncing from each other and helping.
Which makes it great that you have that many stores that you can say, hey, I have this item. Have you guys ever seen?
Yep. So like I said, it depends. Cajun Pawn, they're animals and they're everything odd also. Yeah. But we look at it like this. If we think that we can move it, if it's going to be there in 4 months and we're going to be able to sell it, are we still going to make money from it? Is it going to be still a value in 4 months? And we look at everything. So, like I said, we're close to those guys, but each area has their own unique
expertise.
Thing.
All right.
Each store.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more. We are back, and I want to talk about knowledge because that's what your store really focuses on, is making sure that your employees are trained, that they have the technology that they need, that they have the know-how that they need to make sure that everybody gets the dollars that they want.
At our stores, we have different areas of expertise for basically every member of the team. Like me, I'm good with electronics.
Okay.
So I'm a gamer, so I know everything about games. We also have other areas such as the jewelry section. You have to be very knowledgeable about jewelry. Everybody knows something about everything in the store, but some people knows much more about other items such as the jewelry items. I have a lady named Tammy that works for me who's a jewelry specialist. At our South store, Kim has been to our diamond grading course in Indianapolis, which our company paid for, which is not a cheap course to go to.
Sure.
It's very expensive, and she now can grade diamonds for anybody comes. So sometimes they come to me or our store, and we can look at them, and we're pretty good at it. But if it's something that's very expensive, we might send them down to Kim's store so they can go to Kim because she is a diamond specialist.
Right.
Same as other members of the team that have every areas. Laptops, you have to know how to clean them out, things like that when they come in because it has people's personal information in them. So we do take those in, we look at them, get them cleaned out. I might give that to Sammy.
Sure.
Because she's a specialist in computers. She knows everything about them. Same as Kylie at the other store. She's really good at jewelry. Everybody has their special parts that could do any. We can all do it all, but some people is special does specific
sure.
items in the store.
And that's what you want your customers to know, because it's not just basically throwing a dart at a dartboard. You guys can pinpoint and narrow down exactly to the dollar how much that item is.
Yes, it is. And we look up every item, what it sells for on the internet. We do 25% of average use price. Some people, like I said, Kim was talking earlier about, somebody might bring something in that they bought it for $4,000 and expect to get, $3,000.
Sure.
They don't understand the business part of it is that it doesn't work that way.
Right. Because you still have to make money, and if they didn't come back and get their item or claim their item, you still have to make that profit.
No matter what.
Base, you're still in it to make money as well.
Correct.
You're performing that service, and you're taking care of your customers, but...
Yes, and like I said, the statistics show that, and I think it's on the census that goes around every couple of years or whatever, that 15% of all Americans don't have no banking at all.
Oh, wow.
And then there's a total of 35% has little to no banking in total. And so, like, if you need $100, you can't go to the bank and ask for a loan for $100. I'm not going to get that loan for $100. So a lot of people use us, because you know, you could find some of value, you know what I'm saying, come back and get it back, and you can get that gas that you needed to get to your new job, or diapers that you know that just ran out and you can't wait till your check to get there in 3 days. So we are a business to help others, and most people had that stigma about pawn shops from the olden days, but it's completely different. You come to our stores, it's neat and clean. We don't have bars on the windows. There's not somebody waiting behind the counter with a pistol. You know, it's just a clean atmosphere.
I mean, let's be honest. It's a safer way to get that loan that you need so that you're not going to those, and I use the term loosely, like a loan shark, to where it is that 80, 90, 100% interest on your money. It literally is there to help the customer get off his feet, or just get that little extra boost to get through the next little amount of time.
Yes, and then like the nice thing about our company also, we're one of a few companies that do it, we offer a 7-day no interest. So if you bring in an item that hasn't been in our store before, any of our stores before, you got the option of getting it with no interest if you pick it up within 7 days.
Nice.
And most companies don't do that. You know, you're not going to find it, because that's really how we make money, is off of the interest. And if, like I said, but we still get that option to the customer. If you come in with your item, with your ring or whatever, you get $100. If you pick it up within 7 days, that's all you have to pay us back is $100. We don't make anything off of that. That's the help that we render to our customers.
And it really is geared towards customers. I don't want people to think anything differently, because you guys truly do care, even back to the paperwork that you're sending to them that says, hey, look, your loan.
And we send those out when their due date is here, not before. We send that paperwork out after their due date. You know, so even though they still have the opportunity, and our paper says you have 7 to 10 days to respond to us to see so at least let us know what's going on in your life, you know, so we can help you out. You know, if you need to extend it on your time, that's fine. You know, we will be there for you. We won't just pull your stuff just for the sake of pulling it. We will help you in any way or manner that is needed at that point in time.
And you've got 2 stores here in Kokomo, right?
Yes,
and
we
what
do.
Are those locations?
My store is on the corner of North and Washington, 1234 North Washington Street, across from Yogi's Pizza, the old Doc's Restaurant building. And then we have 204 East Lincoln Street, which is across from the old McDiner, which is McDonald's on Lincoln Street. That's our that's our other location.
Easy to find, all kinds of stuff. I'm going to have them back, because honestly, they've got so much, and I want you guys to see some of the items as well. I'm going to go out and take pictures. We may even show up and be on location one of these times. I think that they really need to see inside your store, because it's really awesome. So thank you for coming in today and taking time out of your busy schedule, because I know you've got customers lined out the door.
Yes, we do.
So we'll be right back.
Thank you.